I say I found in you.
I know you want my heart, my bruises and my scars. I'm coming as I am. I know you want my heart, my bruises and my scars. I'm coming as I am, the only way I can. I can't forget from where I've come and what my heart's been rescued from. Yeah, when they ask me who I owe my whole life to, I point to you. I point to you. I point to you. I point to you.
Come on. hello, beautiful day. How cute is, how are you doing? I hope you're okay and I hope you're beautiful. Hello. Hello, how are you today? Are you okay? Did you sleep well? Did you have a bad night? Were you disturbed? Did you dream? Did you have a bad dream? Or are you grateful? No matter what it is, at least you are awake this morning. You can breathe in and breathe out. You are alive, no matter the situation. Now, today's topic is what? Wasted years. Yes, wasted years. Are you living in regrets? Are you living and you're asking yourself, how can I forgive myself when I can't even forgive others? How can I heal myself when I have not even given a room for healing? I need a miracle. I need a miracle to happen in my life to put my pain or to put my past into dancing. You can do that. What is it? What is it that is bothering you? Wasted years. The time or that thing called waste is a waste. We actually continue wasting our life, counting those wasted years. Yes, baby. Of course. Wasted years, wasted years. I want you to look towards the source that doesn't get dry. I want you to say to yourself that nothing is going to steal my joy. Our hearts are restless until they rest in God. Believe you me. Do not waste more of your time, your effort, your energy, years, trying to search for those wasted years. Sometimes the poor choices of life, the poor choices of lives, God answers those poor choices or probably the mess of our life with one word. And that one word is called what? Grace. Nothing is a surprise to God. He actually knows you're going to go through those things, but how do you pick up? How do you get yourself up? How do you get this, your beautiful self going rather than, regretting? Have you been abused in one way or the other? Did you just wake up and found yourself, oh my God, I have wasted all my years doing this. This is not what I could have done. Or did you just found out that, oh, I wasted my years trying to help or please someone, thinking it was going to end well. I have wasted my years building an empire for someone instead of myself. This had led to the situation or the time or I have cried that made me to cry all my life. I have wept. I have been torn into pieces. Are you saying that to yourself? I have cried. It's good to cry. It is good to regret. It is good. Let me tell you, there are some things that happen in our lives. And probably we've lost someone dear to us. Or probably something happened in your life. You must cry. But can I ask you one question? Okay, for the dead. Yeah, we cried because of the impact they have laid in our lives. The dead. Or we have cried because we've been abused one way or the other. Or we have cried because someone has taken something that does not belong to them, but to you, myself. I have been crying and crying and crying. What is now the solution? Will I continue to cry? Will I continue to regret? There is always a solution. Bet me, no matter what it is. There is always a solution. But that solution starts taking effect when you yourself have made up your mind to give a room for solution. It will come. I take myself for example. Some things I've gone through in life, have made me cry and cry for years and years. And I keep asking my question. I woke up one day, I said, those cries, those tears that I shed, has that actually, brought the situation to an end? What has it actually done? Anything positive? If the cry, the tears has brought anything positive in my life, I can only pick it up. But if the cry or the tears have brought or even added more sorrows to my life, I have made a decision to just leave it one side. If you look, sometimes I've cried. It can actually make you grow old. Making you, taking you out of things that are meant to rescue you. God can send anyone to rescue you. But if I make up my mind and say, let me continue crying without having the solution in my hands, it's getting worse. I am killing myself more. Now, you're a boy or a girl, you're a woman, a man, whatever it is. You live in regrets. You're living a life of regrets. Let's give an example. You've laid your life for people, probably your relations, or your friends, your close pals. You've been there for them for a long time. You've wiped away their tears by your actions or your contribution in a life. And they pay you back with evil. Or they pay you back with what you can't even explain. And it has made you in life to start regretting, why did I do this? Why did this happen? There is a solution. But that solution starts in you. Have you thought of giving a room? Because you're already filled with negativity. Have you thought of giving your head, your brain, a room for positivity? Have you thought of giving, because if this head is filled up with negative things, there can never be a room or even a chance for positive things to come in. You can be rescued. And when that rescue comes in, it now gives a room for restoration. It now gives a room for positivity. It now gives a room for a positive outcome to come out. Now let's take, for example, if our heads are filled with negative, do you know a help can come through your kids, your children? They don't want to see their parents regretting always. A good child will always think of way to rescue their parents, be it mother or father. Now, it comes to this. Me, the parent, I have been doing this, I've been crying, I've been going through this years. Then God sent my child or one of my children to rescue me. And I say, oh, daddy, mommy, it's enough. Because you can't be negative and people around you being negative. You must give a room for positivity. And that room of positivity you want to give out is for you to open your mind for solution. And the moment you open your mind for solution, the moment you open your mind for acceptance, positive acceptance, you can see yourself new. You can see yourself start glowing. You can see yourself having this new life. When you give that room for positivity, your life can be restored. Your sanity can be restored. You can now be drawn out from that pit of negativity to positivity. You can actually start life all over again. Yes, you are not dead. You can start life all over again. Everything becomes new. Because regret does nothing to your life. It doesn't add value to your life. It kills you entirely. It molds you. There is nothing good about negativity. There is nothing good out of it. But there's always a room for positivity. There is always a room. But you have to open this mind so that this mind can be restored. If God can use an instrument, human, to restore you. But you have to make up your mind. He can use there are different kind of Christian stations, like where I'm, in Ireland here, they have Spirit Radio. They have an app also. They play inspirational music, songs that even at the point in time when you have thought, you've already made your mind that you want to give up in life, just play one music like that, it kicks to your mind, and like, oh my God, so I am remembered. It turns the whole situation around. It restores your life. Listen to things that can actually add value to your life. Listen to the kind of music that can wake you up in all angles. And not to forget, faith is very important. You keep asking yourself, wasted years, telling yourself wasted years. Now, can I just make up my mind? I am not harsh, but it's time for you to make up your mind and stop crying. It is time for you to make up your mind and give room for positivity. You are very important. You're beautiful to waste. God is always there. His hands are open. He's always there. His ears are so wide. They are so open to listen to our cries. And he always sends helper one way or the other to rescue us. But the problem is, are we ready? Are we ready to open our hearts or give a room for that to happen? And when that happens, nobody can even tell you how to express that. So, someone cannot start helping you when you are not ready to receive that help. And let me tell you something. People these days don't want to be around a complainant, someone that complains. They can actually, the good ones, family, friends, or colleague, whatever it is, whoever it is, they actually want to be around you if you're giving a positive vibe. If they've known you as someone that complains all the time, they get tired. It comes the point in time they get tired and they just go away. That does not mean that they don't love you or they don't regard you, but they keep saying, oh, I'm always around this person. He or she keeps complaining or complaining or complaining. Has she ever even thought in her life of a way to move forward? And the moment you give room for healing, the moment, I call it healing because it is a big healing. Because those times you have wasted trying to think about your wasted life, there is always a room for you to pick up yourself. And those things you think you have lost, one way or the other, let me tell you, believe me, with faith, one way or the other, it will be restored. It might take time. It might take years, but it will be restored. But at the point in time now, you have to take an action. You have to take an action and tell yourself, okay, let me leave that. Time will tell, because now I have given a room for myself to pick up myself, to say this wasted years is gone. I want to create a new room for myself. I want to get a new self. I want to get my new self, my new me. I know it's not easy to say, it's not easy to forget the wasted years. But the only way you can start forgetting that is for you to pick up yourself now. For the fact that you are alive, there is hope. So many people are in the hospital, wishing and thinking, how can I turn the hands of the clock back to take me, and for me, I don't want, I'm telling myself I don't want to. How can I take the hands of the clock back and say, oh God, I wouldn't have regretted. I would have made amends. I would have made the decision to move on. Then those things will get back to itself. You don't know how it's going to happen, but it's going to happen. But look at yourself. Yes, those people in the hospital like, oh, I'm sick. Had it been, even though the doctor told me that this disease is incurable, but in my heart, this thing called age, for me, is just a number. I can decide to be young all my life because of things I take in or how I manage them. My mind can be very young. I might grow old physically, but I have the decision to make my mind look young forever. And when the mind is young forever, forget about it. You're going to be young forever. Yes. Age is just a number. So many people are out there regretting. Do you have a solution in the hand? Do you have a solution at hand that, okay, after crying, this is the solution? But what if it's something that you cannot even do? What if it's something that doesn't have the solution that moment, that time? Will you continue regretting? Will you continue crying? Why don't you give a room? Why don't you give a room for a new thing to happen? Beloved, I'm telling you, we are not going to gain anything by crying. We are not going to gain anything by thinking about our wasted years. For me, baby, I have made up my mind because one, I tell myself, cry, tears have not solved any problem. Even though I am innocent, I've been accused falsely, I'm innocent. I have cried from today to tomorrow. I have done so many things to prove to people that I'm innocent. They have to listen to me, but they are not listening. At that time, just leave it. Leave it, because if you continue crying and from crying you start thinking of how to harm yourself and you stop taking care of yourself, because the moment you have given a room for the thought of wasted years. It has taken your whole life entirely. You can never have time for good things. You can never even have time for good vibes. You can never have time for yourself again. You continue dwelling and dwelling and dwelling and dying easily. But if you leave those things to take care of them, have you lost a contract? Whatever you think that you've lost, you think you've lost. But you are still alive. That thing did not take your life. Believe you me, the moment you start thinking positive, you're going to be surprised the way help is going to come. You're going to be surprised the value is going to add to your life. Whatever you think you have gone through, whatever you think that someone has taken from you, whatever you think that you have gone through, you're sick, you've been abused, so many things have happened to you. What is it? The ball is in your court. Make a decision today and tell yourself, I am not going to regret again. It is not easy, but you have no option to move forward because you are alive. Because you are alive. So once there is life, they say once there is life, there is hope. Yes, there is hope. But if you don't put those actions, those hope in, those hope and faith in action, it is dead. It cannot work out, baby. But the moment you start telling yourself, you have to accept first. Before I come to you to help you out from that your negative, pit, you must accept it. You must accept it, whether you like it or not. You have to accept it first. And when you accept it, then it makes meaning. Not to forget, again, because when I say things, I have to, balance it. There are people who doesn't actually know how to make up their mind, to let go. There are people who does not know where to start from. There are people who doesn't know, where am I going to do this? There is a solution. The solution is this. If you cannot do it, if you don't know where to start, give room for others to help you. It can be your kids. It can be a relation. God can always tell him first and say, I don't know how to go about this. How can I start all over again? Like I said, put some music. There are Christian stations. Or sometimes pray to God and say, okay, show me the way. He's always showing, or he's always making a way where there seems to be no way. Just all you have to do is believe, keep the faith alive. He can use, even when you think that you're saying, okay, my kids cannot help me, they are young. Let me tell you, everything happens in life for a purpose. God can use your infant. Just one action, something can happen in your life, and within a moment, it changes everything about your life, your thoughts. So don't underestimate help. Don't underestimate this thing called restoration. It can happen in any way. So, my beloved, I'm telling you, please, I am not harsh, but we just have to take this thing. We just have to make up our mind and say, gone, get out, wasted years. I'm going to pick up myself. I'm going to give a room for a new beginning. And I bet you're going to be a new person. You're going to be a new person. You're going to be a beautiful person. And people will keep wondering and keep saying, oh, well, God, what happened to her? What happened to him? So your diseases are going to be healed. You're going to be healed completely. Just be grateful. Most important thing, be grateful. And when you're grateful, every other thing follows. Start thinking young in your heart. I love you. I love you. When you make up your mind, every other thing follows. Just free your mind. Take only things that are positive from people, not negative things. Try to expose your life or your mind, your ears, your soul, your eyes to things that are positive, that can only affect your life, can only have effect in your life. Yes, people can advise you, they're going to advise you, but you can only pick something. Pick the things that are going to add value to your life. Mind your company. Mind your circle of friends in life. Not just friends, your relations. Mind what you accept that is going to add value in your life. Baby, stop thinking about the wasted years. Think of solution. And everything that you think you've wasted, God is going to make a way. There's actually going to be a condition, a situation whereby the help will come. But at the moment, recognize yourself. At the moment, get hold of yourself. Find your new self. And start enjoying this life. Because when you're gone, life goes on. Yes. And all those your efforts that you even had, those efforts you've put in place in those wasted years, that you would have made a decision to pick up yourself and start going forward, and along the line you're going to reap that waste, because the result is going to come. You don't know how it's going to come, but it's going to come. But all you have to do is believe. Give room for people to help you. When he sends those helpers, give room and you'll be restored. I love you. You can see a very beautiful day. It's cold, and I love you. Have a very, very wonderful day, and be happy no matter the situation, because you are alive. Okay? I love you, and God bless you. Bye.